What is up, guys? Welcome to Dummy's Guide to FNAF 2 Golden Freddy mode, starring everyone's favorite dummy, me, SonDaro. And today I'll be giving my tips and advice and almost a good cut way of how to get through this very annoying mode. And I am not sure how to edit this video, so I'm just gonna be as low budget as possible. To be honest, this has to be one of the hardest modes, and it's really just down to RNG. There's so many factors that could fuck this up, really make this any harder than it has to be. One of them being Wither Bonnie, this little bugger right here. But we can get into that later. So yeah. For the whole night, if you were to do the challenge from start to finish, it would be about 6 minutes and 48 seconds for the entirety of the night. I believe there are about 84 or so cycles in the night, a cycle consisting of about 5 seconds. The first 5 seconds of the night, nothing will happen. You are completely fine. Maybe you will, if you keep flipping the camera up and down, you will get a Golden Freddy. Which I guess we could talk about him first. Where did I leave him? Here. We could talk about Golden Freddy. Golden Freddy isn't a problem at all. He has two possible spawns. The default one being here when he's limp on the ground. Another one where he's just a massive head in the hallway. That one, I think you just, to avoid Golden Freddy in the hallway, you simply just don't flash your light at him for a long time, nor do you constantly flash your flashlight. So as soon as you see him, stop flashing and go back to your camera or whatever else you're doing at that moment. If he's right here, put your mask on or go back in the cameras. What really stops it, where in the normal course of things, is that say you're in the cameras winding up the music box, which we'll talk about later. You would flip out. There's no attack, but you see this guy. Flip out your mask, you flip it off. You don't have to keep it on for long like the other animatronics, which we'll talk about again later. So that's it. That's how you get rid of him. He'll still be there and he'll start to fade away, but you just flip the mask on for a little bit, flip it back off, and boom, you're done with Golden Freddy. Very simple. No problem at all. Okay. Another animatronic that we gotta talk about is Toy Bonnie. Possibly the hardest challenge out of this whole night. Toy Bonnie has an interesting mechanic that no other animatronic has. He could attack you at any point. He's a vent animatronic, so he only comes out of the vent. But he could attack you at any point, meaning say you're just looking straight ahead. This guy could pull up and be like, hey, I heard you're pretty hungry, and I'm here to kill you, and immediately go into his attack animation. Unless, if you flip your camera up, that is. So he's the only one that can do that. The only one that could show up, besides the Marionette, which at that point, if they're showing up while you have the camera down, it's because you forgot to wind the music box, and they're just gonna kill you. It's impossible to dodge. Same thing with Foxy. Same exact reason with them. The only reason why he's showing up is because he's gonna kill you, or he's down the hallway, which we could talk about later. So yeah, he's the only one that could show up to do a prepare for an attack while you have your camera down, and he is the run killer. To deal with him, all you have to do is simply put your mask on. He has a chance of going straight into his attack, which would be him moving from the right side all the way to the middle. That attack is taking about 5 seconds. You can count in your head. 5 seconds. Or he has a chance of still being in the vent while you have your mask on, and he would stay there for an extra 3 seconds and then go into his attack. If that happens, what you could do is you could take the mask off, put the mask back on, maybe flash the hallway if you haven't already. Put the mask back on again. Yeah, obviously. So again, Put the mask on. He's still in the vent, not attacking. Take the mask off, put it back on, and then he should, after a second or two, start approaching to the middle, and then he'll disappear. That's how you deal with Toy Bonnie. Nothing too crazy. He's just chilling. He's just a small boy in a small time world. I'm gonna make him tiny because we're gonna come back to him later for the strategy. Toy Chica, she isn't a problem at all. She's supposed to be like Bonnie. I don't know what Scott did, and to make her this thick, and also broken. Not broken in like a crazy way. Broken in a she doesn't have an attack animation kind of way. Well, she does. She doesn't have a sliding animation like Toy Bonnie does. Even though her main arrival is the same way. Like she comes from the left side vent, where Toy Bonnie comes from the right side vent. She comes from the left side vent, and then she's supposed to slide, but she doesn't. She just stays in the vent, and to get rid of her would be the same way you got rid of Toy Bonnie, which is to put the mask on for about 5 seconds. She doesn't have that BS where she waits about a couple seconds before she leaves. You could tell that she's gone if you hear thuds in the vent. We could talk about that noise when I show like the video later on. So yeah, 5 seconds for her with the mask on, and then after you hear the noise, you can confirm it by paying attention to the timing in your head. Or you could have a timing in real life, like your phone or a watch or something, which would definitely help. It helped me. And that's how you get rid of her. Nothing too crazy. She's actually insanely easy because she's on the left side vent, which we will talk about like strategies after I talk about all the other animatronics. So those two are the vent animatronics, and we obviously have Golden Freddy, which is just simple stuff. Going down the list, we have Toy Freddy. Not a problem at all. In fact, I could categorize him alongside all the other like hallway animatronics, as I like to call them. He comes from the middle, and he gets closer and closer over time. I guess I could also talk about the rest of them as well, because they're all basically the same. We got the boy, the OG boy, and hold on, where are they at? Not them. There we are. Here we go. These 4 are the hallway animatronics, meaning that they only come from the hallway. I believe these 2 come from the vents, and they attack from the vents. But their main thing is that they also attack like these 4. These 4 have the exact same type of attacks. So the way they work is that they can't really attack you if you're visibly looking out of the cameras and there's no one there. They can't jump in. They don't have that kind of like ability. When you flip the camera back up, you're winding the music box or whatever else you're doing inside the camera system, each one of these 4 animatronics can come out and attack you as soon as you put the camera down. There's also another mechanic you have to worry about, which is the fact that on certain cycles throughout the night, they can pull your camera down. Sorry, I got a little bit thirsty. Yeah, they can pull your camera down and make things a little bit more tedious. Which isn't the craziest thing in the world, but it's a problem if say your music box is about like a few ticks away from unleashing hell, otherwise known as the Marionette. But then one of these 4 pull your camera down and say, "Hey, we don't want you to wind that music box. We want you to die either by us or the puppet." Then that's death. That's part of the RNG that I was talking about earlier amongst it. So to deal with all 4 of these animatronics, you just, as soon as they either bring your camera down, which you have to react quickly, or if you just put your camera down, you have to put the mask on. It's that easy. You have to put it on in less than a second. I think it's, I don't know the exact timing. I think it's like 3/4 of a second, 0.75 of a second. I guess. Yeah, like 3/4 of a second. Yeah, you have that much time to put on your mask before any one of these will kill you. It's very simple. It's just reaction. It's just a reaction-based thing you have to keep in mind at all times, especially when you have the camera up. This would be a run killer, because you have to be able to manage your music box, which we'll talk about how to properly wind it later on, the exact timing. But in order to be perfect in a run that's full of RNG, you have to make sure your reactions are 1000% on point when it comes to these guys. So that's that. They're nothing too like insane, I would say. We have the two critters, spawns of Satan. Really, they're not that hard. They're incredibly easy. Now let's talk about Mangle first. So Mangle comes from the middle part of the hallway. I don't know if they have an exact chance of killing you straight up from the hallway because they do have like a pretty weird pose down there alongside Foxy. But it wouldn't hurt just to flash it if you see it down there with Foxy. But these two are event animatronics as well. BB and Mangle. Mangle comes from the right side, and BB comes from the left side. The benefit of working with either one of these is that they both have an audio cue to indicate that they're there. For the Mangle, which is the easiest animatronic to deal with in all of the game, besides Golden Freddy. No, I'd say it's easier than Golden Freddy. For Golden Freddy, there's still like that reaction timing. This one, it's just you hear it, you hear like this long static radio noise in the background. Even when you have the camera up, that you'll know that it's there. And you can put the mask on to get rid of it. Same thing with BB. You don't want to have. Well, I'll talk about BB in a second. You just put the mask on for Mangle for about 5 seconds. Or you could just, whenever the noise stops, that's how you know they're gone. You don't have to check. It's so easy. BB, though. BB. Oh, BB. Oh, man. BB is something else. BB is hell. Look at this little dude. I found this funny render on Google. This guy is very funny. He's very funny because he steals your batteries. And you need your batteries for your flashlight. You have unlimited power for the camera, for the desk fan, but you need the flashlight to flash Foxy and other animatronic, which we'll talk about later. So I think BB can be difficult. Not hard to deal with at all. So they come from the left side vent. You hear them all over. You hear, hey, hello. But the audio cue that you have to listen to when you know they're there is hi. After some vent noises, which we'll talk about the vent noises later, they make these noises to indicate that they've passed through the vents. You hear that vent noise, then you hear hi. It wouldn't hurt to go check to the left side to see if this guy's here. Because the moment he's inside your office, same thing with Mangle, that I forgot to mention, is that they will never leave. He can't kill you. Let's just say that he's just a nuisance. He's that one nephew that you always hated, that you really wish wouldn't come over on a Sunday afternoon, but unfortunately that just happened, so that's Balloon Boy. Mangle can't kill you if they're in the office, but it's random. And you could go the whole night without getting attacked by Mangle, but there's always that chance, and that chance isn't enough to kill anybody. Yeah. Excuse me, I've got allergies. So, yeah. So that's Balloon Boy, and that's Mangle. Nothing too crazy. They're very simple things to deal with. His is a lot harder to listen to as far as audio cues than Mangle, but they're both easily removable from your from existence. What's another animatronic that? Let's see. Let's talk about the main man himself, Foxy. So Foxy is probably like another part of the Run Killer. He isn't necessarily hard. He'll appear in the hallway, and there is an audio cue to indicate that he's there with the FNAF 2 ambience. I think everyone's heard that before, like in memes or whatever. So he'll be there, and to deal with him, you have to shine the light on Foxy in the hallway. Otherwise, if you never flash the light at all, he'll just kill you. Even if you have the mask up, there's no way to stop him. He's an unstoppable animatronic. But the way he works when you're shining the light on him, the more you shine the light on him, the longer he stays away. So if you shine it about, let's say about 3 seconds to about 5, he has a chance of going back into the back room over here and staying there for about 300 or so frames, which is about like a second or two, and then coming back out to the hallway. In the hallway, I'm not sure about the exact timing, but in the grand scheme of things, while you're going through your cycles, that's good, because then you can just keep him in a loop. So the main thing is the main thing with him is that the longer you flash the light on him, the longer he'll stay away. That's not 1000% true in the terms of like how these cycles work, but a video that could better describe how all that works and all the technicalities would be to go to DJ Sturf's FNAF 2 video, which I can link in the description below. He goes in depth as far as how all those cycles work. But at the end of the day, Foxy, just shine the light on him. Nothing too crazy. And he'll go away eventually, or you'll just keep him at bay, which is what you gotta do. Now the Marionette. The Marionette is very funny. They're God. Let's pull up the new scene. They're God. The Marionette actually is unstoppable. They're the only camera out of all of the systems that you have to open up to check. But there are caveats to dealing with the Marionette. So first and foremost, to stop the Marionette from getting out of its box, which is this right here in the background, you have to, let me get my brush. You have to wind, oh, there we go. You have to wind up the music box. This little thing right here. And a little key to it is that you don't have to like click it. You just have to hold down on the mouse one button if you're playing on PC. And then you don't have to like ever let go of it, so you just have to run your mouse over it whenever you have the camera up, and it's gonna wind up. I don't know how many ticks it takes to fully wind it up. You'll have a meter on here that'll show you like how many you're down, like a little wheel. And that's that. It's very simple to deal with just the Marionette. Now, if you're dealing with like all 10 other animatronics, yeah, it's gonna get difficult. It's gonna get pretty damn difficult. But that's how you deal with the Marionette in basic terms. Now let's talk about strategy for when you're actually up here. There are timings that you can do with Marionette. So let me pull up the video while I'm at it. The video for beating this. I tried to record like a new video, but I haven't had the chance because I've been streaming what was it? FNAF. All the other FNAF games, honestly. I've just been like very busy on that. Okay, so let's talk about like timings and how to be exact on this. So for the Marionette, I don't think there's any way you could possibly fill it up all the time to complete, like from 1% all the way to 100% at every time you have the camera up, because there will always be an animatronic such as like Withered Freddy, Withered Chica, Withered Bonnie, Toy Freddy that would pull down your camera, or you remember you have to flash Foxy every now and then, like every 5 or 7 seconds to keep him at bay from ever getting into your office or killing you. So or checking to see if, because you have your camera up, all the other vet animatronics are, able to get in. So you have to have a certain timing while you're in the camera to make sure that they don't get in. Nobody gets in and kills you. So my recommendation is that again, I'll play the noise right now, actually, since we're talking about it. You guys hear that ticking noise, like in the background? Let me play it back again. After this attack animation. Also, you saw how like I brought down my camera. That noise right there. Whenever you're winding the music box, it's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a timing to it, and it's nothing too crazy. It just makes that noise. So for every noise that it makes, we're gonna call that a tick. 1 tick. Yeah, I can write. So that'll be 1 tick for everything. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it's about like 10 or so ticks. But you're not gonna do that. What you're gonna do is that for a normal wind up, it would be 7 ticks. But say you're like really low, you have the red triangle flaring up. You need to make sure that the marionette doesn't get out. You could do a recovery wind up timing, which would be about 8 ticks. And trust me, it does make a difference. So this will be if you're trying to recover like a certain amount of ticks / like opportunities that you could have for the marionette. Which, by the way, you have to go for these, win or lose. This is enough time for you to do this up to to fill it up to that point. 7 or 8 windups. I recommend 7. And then you'll be able to flip the camera down. If nobody's flipped it down for you, then you can prepare for one of the hallway / vent animatronic attacks, or the simple like Toy Bonnie attack on the right, and or left vent animatronics like Chica, BB, and so on and so forth. And you'll be able to prepare there and then flash the hallway. So again, that would be the golden rule, about 7 to 8 ticks. Nothing too shabby. Okay. And I think that's basically it. Oh, let's say I guess this picture that I took from Google is actually perfect. Say the marionette is like your red, the thing just went all the way down. When you flip down, like you flip the camera down, make sure you're holding, I think it's control. Make sure you're holding down the flashlight as soon as you flip the camera down, so that way you can flash the marionette, and if you're lucky enough, you can actually catch the marionette and freeze it like this person did here, and keep it from actually escaping the box. Even if there's nothing here, like there's no wind up at all, you're able to stop the marionette completely, doing like a complete flashlight stall. It'll never leave the box until you leave the camera, or if this wind up is gone, or both. So yeah, very simple. Good to know, actually. That's probably a tip, like a huge tip that I recommend to anybody. So make sure you're using your flashlight adequately. So let's take a look at the video. I don't think we need the noise. I'll probably play it again later because I just noticed the noise was actually kind of low. Funny thing, I was actually doing 10-10 mode, which was like Fazbear Fever. I couldn't get it done. I was trying so hard, and then I switched over to Golden Freddy like later the stream, because I was like, damn, I really gotta get it to it. You know? Okay, so first things first, as soon as the night starts, I get 5 seconds, nothing happens. So you could stay right here and keep winding the music box. Sometimes I've had it to where like Foxy would kill me immediately. I guess until like really like it's time to start looking down the hallway when the music starts playing. But I kind of like to start flashing, the hallway, get into the habit of shining on the vent, and just keep going. And start practicing the timings, which I think I could play the noise again. There's that 1, 2, 3. Just so you guys could like get used to that noise. So again, just taking a quick look. I can actually have the audio up. The music started playing, so I'm just taking a look. You saw how the mask completely got rid of Golden Freddy over here on the right. So you don't have to worry about Golden Freddy, like, if at all. As soon as you get that, like, mask flip down below. 2, 3. Taking a look. Once you hear something in the vents, 4, 5, 6. You want to make sure you start doing like the 7 to 8 wind-ups. As soon as you hear that vent noise, which you can play again. So again, you're completely safe. All you have to do is really check down the hallway. You're completely fine from the vents until you hear that noise. There we go. You heard that noise up to the right. Now there's an animatronic in one of the vents. Probably on the right. We have Withered Freddy, actually. We have Withered Freddy. I actually can't even stop it on that frame. That frame is so quick. We have Withered Freddy down the hallway. Again, he's not going to do anything. They're completely harmless outside of this area until they're inside your office. Then you have to quickly react to put the mask on. Once you hear that animatronic on the right, the strategy would be, I guess what I'm doing is the right vent strategy. So I never really check like the left side vent at all. I really don't feel like there's a point. I check the right vent first. I check the hallway by shining the light on it. Trying to see if I can get Foxy or just see what animatronic is down the hallway. Go back to the right. This will be a quick succession, so it'd be light, flash. If it's Foxy down there, shine it for like a couple of seconds, like 2 or 3. And then go back. And then light again. If Toy Bonnie showed up, you obviously want to put the mask on. And go and see how long it take for him to get out. If he's not attacking you within like 2 seconds, you want to immediately take the mask off, put it back on, and go through that. Hopefully that doesn't kill your run. Like I said, this run is probably the hardest one in the game, or all the games, just because of the RNG. So again, it'll be vent, hallway, vent, and then you check the camera. Again, once you're here in the camera, you want to shine. You want to start winding it up. Even if it's at full, you want to wind up for about 7 to 8 ticks, preferably 7. It'll be a little bit quicker. The animatronics are going to be doing their thing, moving through the vents. Now, I got attacked here. By Freddy. And I'm going to talk about like a quick piece of advice that helps me get rid of all of like the left animatronics, which is why I never check it. Which is to keep the mask on for a little bit longer after the attack, which is about like a second, just 1 second. So again, you can tell they're gone if you don't hear that static noise in the background. There's that static noise indicating that we're in the attack phase. And then they're gone. I wait about like half a second to a second to keep the mask on, because that could get rid of like BB, that can get rid of Chica on the left side vent, so you have to check on them. Again, I do it really quickly. So I check hallway, vent, hallway. Actually, my bad, I had the loop wrong. It's hallway, vent, or it's hallway, vent, hallway. Which, vent, hallway, vent could also work as well. But, you know, if considering there's no Foxy down there. But the way you want to go, honestly, is a hallway, vent, hallway. And then you can immediately flip the camera, go back to the 7 to 8 ticks. I kept getting like bad luck in my run. They kept hitting me, pulling down my monitor. I'm trying to keep going to show you guys like the loop, like the break and loop, because there will be times like don't get me wrong, you don't have to check like the left vent at all, but there will be times where you have to check. You cannot avoid it like that much longer. So again, I wait a second or two, flip the camera up. Let's see if I can actually get the timing of this, because sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom. I think I missed it. Okay, so we got attacked by Chica. Yada yada. We get the 7, 8 ticks. Alright, you can see here that there's no animatronic. You're probably thinking, so what do I do if there's no animatronics like here in the room by the time that I flip the camera down? There's no Golden Freddy. There's no animatronics at all. Well, you're just gonna immediately... What you're gonna do is that you're gonna check the vent, check the hallway. I call this the croissant strategy. So you check the croissant maneuver. You check the vent, you're gonna check the hallway, then you're gonna check the other vent. obviously my flashlight's out because there's animatronics moving in the hallway, and then you check the vent, and that's it. And then you flip the camera. Before it didn't really show very well here, but so again, we check the right vent, the hallway, and then you check the left vent. Before I flip the camera back up, I also check the hallway one more time in case like we have an opportunity to flash Foxy. We want to make sure Foxy is blind the majority of this run. So I flip the camera back up and I go for about I think about like 7 or 8 ticks. I went for 6 ticks. I didn't go for 7 because Toy Freddy flipped my thing down. So when that happened, I go back to the right and I reset. It's very simple. Like there's nothing else like to it. It's a very simple loop, and that's all it is. That's all the run is for the rest of the night. You check hallway, vent, hallway, camera. While you're also like every time you check the hallway, you're obviously flashing it. Whenever you have Foxy in the hallway, it's about 2 to 3 seconds of just constant flashing, trying to get as like it's like a warm up meter. You try to get him like to as charged up as possible to either get him sent back or just to make him stay further back longer. And then obviously you worry about your attacks by reacting quickly with the mask. And I'm trying to get to a Toy Bonnie attack so I can show you because I've got attacked by 2 iterations of Toy Bonnie. So again, after like the attack, hallway, vent, hallway, good. Wind about like 7 or so seconds, or 7 or so ticks. 7 seconds, you'd be dead. You have another attack. Nothing too crazy. Here we go. You saw how I had Foxy at the end of the hallway. I only checked for about like 2 or so seconds, or like a second or two, because as soon as I checked to the vent, and I actually had a Toy Bonnie there. But I stayed a little bit longer on him. We have Toy Bonnie on the right side. Every time I look at him, he brings so much fear. I go back to the hallway. Instead of immediately putting the mask on after seeing Toy Bonnie, I immediately go back to the hallway, shine Foxy again, cannot lose the opportunity to flash him. And right here, this is what I was talking about. He didn't attack me at all. You can decide to just keep your mask on, which I did, because I knew that I had a lot of charge on my on the Marionette, like a lot of wind up. So I was completely fine. If you're in this kind of position and you have the yellow triangle, you're dead. You can't get out of it because Toy Bonnie's going to come out way too late by the time you even get your camera back up, and you're probably going to die before anything actually happens. So yeah, he does an attack animation which takes about like 8 seconds. This is completely fine. So in this situation, I have my red flashing triangle. There's no point for me to check the right vent at all. There's no point because Toy Bonnie just attacked me. He's not going to attack me immediately after. It could happen. I don't doubt it, but it's not going to happen that quickly. So I'm in a pretty bad situation, and I have no Fox in the middle because he got reset. He got sent back to the back room. So right now we're in a pretty tough situation. So what I do is I hold down my flashlight button, which is control, because I'm playing on PC. I flip up and I keep my light shined on the Marionette at all times, and that's just like a precaution, just in case the wind up is out and the Marionette doesn't get out of his box or leave the room at all. So yep, that's basically it. You just keep the light shine the whole time. Wind up, and this would be my recovery phase, which I would do about like 8 ticks. At least I try to until I get straight into like an attack. And yep, that basically law of the land. He went straight to attack and just back into the loop. And that's basically it for the rest of the night. There's nothing else to it. Like it's pretty simple. You know, it's not like a super crazy thing. We could watch like the rest of this. Keep the light shined on him. I don't know if you can hear that actually. So we have Foxy down the hallway. And then we have Mangle. And we have BB, I want to call him BB-8. We have BB on the left side vent. And he is going to try to cause us some trouble. So, but this is perfect. So now that we have a hallway animatronic here, while we still have withered, we have Mangled here, let's assume we have Chica or BB on the left-hand side as well. So we have 2 animatronics on each side. What do? well, you can't do anything because you're getting attacked by the hallway animatronic. And their attack is about 5 seconds, which in turn will kill off Mangle or Toy Bonnie, which I also should have mentioned could also be there as well. It'll kill him off too. It'll kill off all the vent animatronics if they're there at that present moment, the moment you put down the camera, while you're waiting for the hallway animatronic to get out of there. And then you'll see right here, the noise stopped, indicating that Mangle's gone, which also indicates that the other two are gone, meaning you don't have to go to the left-hand side and check those animatronics. Yeah, and that's basically it. And then you check the vent just in case Toy Bonnie showed up because he's a nuisance to society. And that's it. It's very simple. It doesn't get any harder than this. The only difficulty is staying consistent with the run from start to finish, which, for me, that was that. It got pretty damn tough. Hallway, vent, hallway. Easy. Hold about, like, 7 to 8 ticks. Don't worry about that noise. It doesn't mean anything. We have another Foxy. Keep the light shining on him for, like, an extra second. And that's basically it. I'll just keep looking through the video, and I'll see if I can point something else out. This is why you check the left-hand side if there are no attacks. So I get my proper 7 ticks in, right? I flip the mask down, obviously, to get rid of Golden Freddy if he's there. Nobody's there. I didn't check the right vent exactly, which probably could have cost me the run. I checked the left-hand side, and boom, we have the boy, Balloon Boy. The BB boy. Little battery boy. And obviously to get rid of him, put the mask on. And in my head I'm counting like the timing for it. If I can actually get the noise up all the way so we can actually hear the vent noise. There are 2 vent noises. One was to indicate that there was an animatronic on the right side moving. Had I put my mask down, it would have reset the time for Balloon Boy, and I would have had to keep the mask on an additional 5 seconds after that. But I waited for the additional second noise, see if I can catch it. 1, that's indicating the animatronic on the right. Another noise to indicate that he's gone. And what I do after this point is, since we had an attack, I check the middle. Obviously, given that my winding is fine, and I don't have to go into the camera to wind up, I check the middle, and then I go back to the right. I checked on Toy Bonnie, and boom, just go back into the loop. And it's basically simple. It doesn't get any harder than that. Well, I guess for me, what made this more difficult than anything is my focus.
Yes, come on, Bonnie! Give it to me!
Yeah, I was like really excited that Bonnie showed up, but then he kept giving me long attack animations, man. But it kept giving me so much stress. And I always had to like worry about him. So yeah, that's basically it. The flashlight is your greatest benefactor in this whole run. Just hold it up for about 7 to 8 ticks, and that's basically it. It doesn't really get any more difficult than this. Besides just the RNG factors. There are combinations in this game that will kill you. Like, you have this animatronic right here, and then say you have, like, Foxy. And Toy Bonnie right after. And you have to shine Foxy, but while all that's happening, you also have the Marionette flashing yellow. You put on the mask because you need to get rid of Toy Bonnie so you can go ahead and wind the music box. Well, what if I told you that Toy Bonnie did an 8-second attack, and you're screwed. You're dead. There's a lot of things that could kill your run. So the way I see it is that you should just do your best and not take it so personal if things don't work out. Because there's always another try. Probably better RNG. And that's the way I look at this run. I don't think it's 100% guaranteed every time. The only thing you can do is practice and hone your skills so you don't have to deal with the BS every time. And you'll be ready for that one run that will be good RNG. Alright, so I found something. So at this point, I'm doing my winding. I have about 7 to 8 ticks counting in my head. And then I have, the radio static playing in the background. That obviously indicates that Mangle's there. So I made the mistake of not checking to just properly see, but obviously I could hear it, so I don't have to really check it. I take off the mask, shine the hallway. I have BB here. BB's gonna go away as soon as Mangle goes away because they have the same amount of time. They don't have any other time that they wait for. They're not like Toy Bonnie. They don't wait 8 seconds like a douche. So, yeah, get rid of both of them. I still check anyway. You can never be too certain if both of them leave at the exact same time. So I go back over to the left side. I check the hallway, and this douche nozzle shows up. And what's worse of all, let me put my audio down because I know I'm gonna scream. Like oh no, he doesn't. He does a fast attack, so we don't have to worry too much about him because you see the triangle is already kind of low. But that was one of those situations where that could have killed me had he just done an 8-second attack. And then Withered Bonnie showed up and he was trying to climb my cheeks as well. So, you can never have like 1,000% certainty that you'll be completely fine. The only thing I could say is just react adequately, remember the cues, and just go on with the loops. I always hope to get like hallway animatronics more than vent animatronics. They help me clear out more animatronics throughout the night than the rest. And that's basically it. I think that's really all the situations I can really think of that you really have to focus on.
Hurry the fuck up!
Yeah, that's
yes! It. Oh my god, yeah!
Dude, a little commentator's bit right here.
Oh my god!
I was actually I spent like 2 weeks on this part, and I nearly cried. I nearly cried. I was so emotional. This was so difficult, but I was so glad I was actually able to be at like 2 straight weeks of straight practicing at every night. I'd stay up until about like 2 or so in the morning after the stream, and I would just watch DJ Sir's video and Ambience's video, and a lot of people in the community studying like the data of the game and like trying to just get through this as quick as possible because this run is just not feasible. And yeah, that's basically the guide. It's not the most professional thing in the world, but it's something that I did promise you guys that I would make. And I know this run is not easy for everybody. This run can get very annoying and tedious, but I hope you guys are able to beat it. I'm not even like particularly good at this game. I was only able to pull off the run like twice. Once on stream and second time just passively playing. But once you learn like the route, you learn like the loops, you learn the timings for those animatronics, the only thing that could really stop you is RNG, which there's a lot of. So hope you guys are able to get it done, and just let me know if this guide helped. I'm going to try to compile it in a way that makes sense. So I want to thank everybody for watching, and before I end the video, I do want to mention thank you to everybody for helping me reach like 50 subscribers. I did not expect my video to blow up. I've been getting like not that many views, so when my FNAF 2 video finally got like traction, I was like, that's insane. Like I hit the algorithm. So I really want to thank everybody for helping me hit like 50 subscribers. That's really cool. And I also want to advertise my Twitch. So if you go to twitch.tv/SonDaro, link right up here. The link will also be down in the description. You'll be able to catch me live. I'm currently doing FNAF games, like I'll be doing FNAF World next. Just trying to finish up Ultimate Custom Night. I'm going to be doing 50/20 mode. You heard it here first. Just not anytime soon. I have to time it out. It's going to be a training arc for that one. Then I'm also doing like variety games. So if you like what you see on this channel, you'll be able to catch me live and at 10 to 11 p.m. EST most days. I'll be live on my Twitch. So again, with that being said, hope everyone has a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace! Wait, I was streaming? No way. Dude, no, I was not streaming. This is so embarrassing.